And we speak and we say that when you pray and when you have the lifestyle of the Prayer 911, you realize that we can use the word. As we said, we use the Constitution. And so too we find that we can use the word. You can go to your Father and you can say, Father, you said in your word that by your stripes you are healed. You said in your word, Father, that healing is your children's bread. You said in your word, dear Jesus, ask anything in my name, believing, and you shall receive it. All we're doing is we're applying the word of God in our prayer. And this does not exempt anybody who does not know the word so well. Because God sees the motive of your heart. You may be a person that don't know the scriptures so well, but God will still listen to your prayer. Because God sees the motive of your heart above all else. God sees the sincerity. As we find, there was a story in the Bible where a man prayed and he knelt down and he beat himself. He beat his chest. And when he beat himself, he felt as a sinner as he prayed, while the other exalted himself in his prayer. And which of these should be considered a prayer of sincerity? And we know that when you come to God, you come to God as a forgiven sinner. Prayer 911 makes you say, Lord, you throw the life jacket. You throw the security for me, Father, that I may not sink. You know, they say a drowning man will grab at straws. And our prayer 911, allows us to grab hold of God before we sink. As we step on the water, just like Peter. And we realize that when we take our focus off Jesus, we will sink. And so we need to constantly keep that communion with God. Constantly. 911 is not just for emergencies. But our 911 says, Lord, we need you at all times. You are our emergency. You are our life support. And we further look at the next scripture verse. In the 911 passages, we come to Leviticus 9 verse 11. Here it says, and the flesh and the hide he burned with fire without the camp. This was a burnt offering that the priest had to do. But you find that Aaron had to do this. Just like every other priest that had to do this, Aaron as the high priest had to also do this. And this shows us that irrespective of your status, irrespective of what position you hold, you are not exempt from praying to God. There is no inferior complex when it comes to prayer. You find parents, you hold the reins in your home. Lead by example. How do you want your child to go on their knees when you yourself have not been on your knees? You need to show your child where to run to when they have an emergency, when they have a need, when they have a call to be answered. You need to show your children that this is where mommy and daddy runs. This is where the leaders run. You as leaders, show your flock where they need to run. You find that what someone once said, if you want to stand tall before men, you first need to learn how to kneel. And you find Jesus was a servant. He had a servant heart, a man of prayer, constantly praying. And you find even on the cross, at the dying moments where Jesus was, he prayed. You know, we normally say Jesus' prayer is the Our Father who art in heaven. But that was Jesus' pattern of prayer. He told us, this is how you need to pray. When you pray, pray Our Father who art in heaven. It's like me telling you, when you start the car, you start it in such a way. So I'm showing you what to do. So likewise, Jesus' prayer, exact prayer and words to the Father directly, where the Garden of Gethsemane, where he prayed and said, take this cup of suffering away from me. Where he prayed and said, not my will but your will be done. you find that the Father's will was in the prayer. So too when Jesus said, let it be done on earth as it is in heaven. That is the Father's will. A prayerful lifestyle. Now you find Jesus on the cross, when he prayed and said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. His last word was a prayer to God. He said, Father, into thy hands I commit my spirit. And that alone shows us how important, even on the cross, while hanging in shame, while hanging broken and bruised, yet he still had breath enough to pray. How much important is prayer in our lives? We aren't bruised and battered the way Jesus himself has been. Yet we take lightly the path to prayer. And I urge you to be a high priest in your home, like Aaron. Fathers, lead your family. Those of you that are single mothers, you can still lead your family. You play the role as a high priest in your home. There are even people that they are childbearing homes where children are leading the home. Children are taking care of other children. And you as a child, I want to tell you, you can stand tall and you can lead the home into the right place. People that run orphanages. If you know the Lord, I want to tell you, open up your heart so that those that you are impacting will learn how to pray and run to the Father. We continue in our 911 series and we say, Numbers 911. Here we find it says, the 14th day of the second month at even, they shall keep it and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. This you find was an instruction in the Passover that was given to the Israelites. And this Passover meal was a meal that was rushed because there was an urgency to leave the land of bondage, to leave the place of slavery. Some of us want to keep talking about our times of slavery. When you go to God in prayer, you're free. You're a free agent. Meaning to say you're guided only by the Holy Spirit. The Bible says that he whom the Son sets free is free indeed. You're no longer slaves to sin. So know this, that sin does not hold you. God has taken you out of the Egypt mentality and walk in that land of milk and honey, where you realize the benefits that are in store for you in the lifestyle of prayer. You see, these instructions for the Passover were already fulfilled by Jesus himself. He was the lamb that was without blemish. He was the lamb, the sinless lamb that stood in our place. And he died on the cross as the ultimate sin offering. So he fulfilled the instructions of the Passover. And as the dead angel passed by, you find that the dead angel looked at the doorpost. And I marvel at the way the blood was put on the doorpost. I marvel. Because if you look at the doorpost itself, it has a long beam and a short beam. And when it's put together, it forms a cross. Yet again, we are reminded of the cross. Prayer will lead you to the cross. You must hide yourself under the cross. The enemy may come and tell you you're not worthy to pray today. You're not worthy to go into God's presence. God doesn't want to hear from you. God doesn't want to listen to you. But I urge you to know that you're hidden under the almighty cross of Calvary. That blood that was shed for you had a price. And Jesus is the only one that can qualify you or disqualify you from entering his kingdom. But he does not. He says, come unto me all that are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So go to him. Run to him. Be like that woman with the issue of blood. Grab hold of his garments. Amongst that crowd, God will recognize that somebody touched him. and you find that when